What's going on, my beautiful people? How's everybody doing out there in Instagram land and in YouTubeville? Man, I hope you all are doing very well. It's been quite a week, quite a month, quite a year. You know what I'm saying? So we are, this is the energy report where I come on live every week, Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Pacific time. And we talk about the energy of the week and what's going on and what to look forward to and what to expect. And if you guys resonate with this content, please like, share, and subscribe. You know, I really appreciate it. And also, if you'd like a reading from me, you can go to spiritualbodybuilder.com. Of course, I also have the incredibly growing and just absolutely amazing opportunity community. Some amazing people in there. We all growing and branding and learning and structuring this new thing. Coming very, very soon will be my astrology course, 3-part course. The first 2 parts will be, you can go in and you can purchase it and you'll be able to watch as many times as you want. Part 3 is going to expand to a more, group session where we will go into your charts and I will help teach you how to channel the information from your own chart. This is the way that I learned it, right? So from learning, astrology through the way I did, it worked for me, and through understanding yourself, I feel, that's how we understand each other, because essentially we are all one, right? At the very core, that's that Neptunian energy. So when we understand how astrology affects our own consciousness, then we can see it in others, and hence, that's where all the magic happens. So learning how to channel this energy, and then also I will provide an opportunity, if you would like, to work with me as one of my coaches. I'll be doing a certification course within all of that so that we can all utilize the platform and grow and learn and identify your own brand, your own content. And that coaching certification course will require you to complete the 4-week transformational protocol, and all 3 parts of the astrology course, and of course going 100% in, committed to yourself and to the process with getting the biome test, getting the euphoria, and getting your health and your wellness on track. And of course, we will use your transformation as your branding tool in the content. So it's really, I'm all about win-wins, guys, right? So the more that you win, the more that I win, the more that we all win, and we continue to grow and brand and learn. I like to use astrology as a tool for coaching. Okay. I consider especially I've seen a lot of people lately, especially on like YouTube and on like these other platforms for marketing and even for payment, like astrologers are getting called out as fortune tellers, and fortune tellers, a lot of companies don't like to work with them, of course. So, but a coach, which is essentially, what we're doing, it's really just wordplay. Okay. But there are some distinct differences there. All right. We're taking the energy that we're learning from our own experiences, tapping into it, mastering it, and then utilizing that to coach others. So this essentially will be a coaching course. So if you have been interested in becoming a coach, or learning how to master yourself at a deeper level and connecting with like-minded people that we're all working, on our purpose, on our life. If you're a light worker, an intuitive empath, whether you're going through a bunch of shit or, you're thriving and doing amazing, there's something there for everyone. Okay. So I will, and if you would like consistent notices about that, please download my ebook. It's free on my website, spiritualbodybuilder.com, and you will get notices. That's where I send all my notices out to. Okay. And also for the opportunity community, we do meet every Wednesday at 2 p.m. and Fridays at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And if you cannot make those meetings, join the opportunity community. And I post these videos on the website, and you can get that information. You can also message them back and forth and connect and communicate with people all over the world. It's absolutely amazing. It's growing. It's learning. So excited. So let's get into the weekly energy. Yeah. So how y'all feeling out there? It's so interesting right now that the energy is actually sort of flattened out a little bit. Okay. Which is good. Okay. However, because we had so much energy just pour into us, all these downloads, these uploads, all this change and crazy stuff coming in during eclipse season, you may have not really fully felt a lot of, crazy stuff during the eclipse season. But now that all the energy has come in and it's like, okay, smoothing out, it's like now that the water settles, now we like realize like, holy shit, what's going on? All this stuff is coming up. I'm noticing it too. And we're moving into a time. Actually, tonight I will be uploading the August monthly energy report. And look, when I was looking through next month's energy, which I cannot believe it's already freaking August. Are you kidding me? We have literally dozens of yods coming up throughout the month. Okay. So with the sun moving through Leo, it's going to be quincunxing a lot over to Jupiter, Saturn, and Pluto. Between that and we're coming into the Mars square to Jupiter, Saturn, and Pluto, we are coming in some serious shit, guys. Like, oh my God, shit's going to get real. And we can already see it and feel it going on, of course, but it's going to take on a whole new level. It's like, people are really getting caught up. And I found myself a few times, even getting caught up in emotional reactions. And that is what all this stuff, all these energies, all this propaganda is designed to do, to activate our emotional reactions and get us stuck in that fight or flight reactivity mode. So we have to do really, really important, deep, consistent work to make sure that because triggers are coming up constantly, walking around. Now, did you notice that when you walk around, you can't even, it's very difficult to make eye contact with people, especially if you're not wearing a mask, walking outside where the fresh air is. Want to breathe in that oxygen, guys. We want to get that fresh sunlight, that fresh air, but people are just like going above and beyond, and it's incredibly unhealthy. But there's so much conditioning going on that, oh man, holy crap. It kicked me off of Instagram. Damn it. All right. So sorry about that, guys. It kicked me off of Instagram. I'm back now though. So it's like people are getting so like, freaked out and, afraid that people are going to be hurting and infecting other people and stuff like that, that we really have to step up with our compassion, almost, but like a new level of detached compassion. Okay. Because let's face it, a lot of these people, you will not change their mind. You will not convince them that you're right. You will not even be able to get through to them because everybody is so closed off. All right. Antonio, what's up, buddy? Thank you, man. I appreciate you and I love you. My nephew's up on here. So we have to, like, okay, like I respect where you're at. Okay. But, then respect. Okay. I'm 6 feet away. No big deal. I'm not hurting you. Hey, what's up, Susie? So, that's where this is really teaching us, guys, in a very real third dimensional way to stand up in our solid emotional boundaries and, but also holding, like holding a loving space while containing that solid emotional boundary. So this is where it's pointing out to us where we do not have solid emotional boundaries. Wherever we're getting triggered, that is where we need to work on our boundaries. And that's really the bottom line. All right. And I found myself too, right? We need to do the deep inner work. And sometimes like at the same time, we're coming forward with like the universe saying to us, okay, you need to move forward in your purpose, in your position, in your place. Like you're asking, it's almost we're expanding in so many directions at once. It's so intense. Well, Susie, I don't really do that anymore, but I'll hit you up and we'll talk. All right. Make sure you get taken care of. I hope you're doing well. I haven't seen you in a long time. Man, time flies. I cannot believe we're already in the 8th month of August. It's crazy. So, as all these energies are hitting us and these yods are coming up now, let me go a little bit into what a yod is, okay? Because I know a lot of people don't really understand what that means. A yod in astrology is also known as a finger of God. What it is 2 quincunxes with a sextile. Now, there's the 2 quincunxes represent challenges, and these challenges are sort of like you can't put your finger on it. You can't really figure out what the hell it is. Okay. So there's one part there's 3 parts to this energy. There's one part where you connect 2 dots. All right. But there's this third dot that you have to connect and you have to go into this discomfort. And when you get to this edge or point of this discomfort where you sort of completely break down, then you sort of move away. It's like a tower moment happens, right? Then you move away from this discomfort after the tower moment, and you grow into the learned lesson, and you come back to the sextile, and then it all makes sense. But it is not necessarily the most fun or easiest experience. I know I have a yod in my birth chart. When you have one of those, you know, our souls chose to come into this existence with a deep ancestral burden that we are meant to process and overcome, right? So when you look at your birth chart, if you see a yod, that means that, well, you're definitely a light worker, number one, because there's a very unique, special gift that you have, and that gift comes through that tower moment, that difficulty, that thing that you struggle with, that thing that you may kind of feel like haunts you, right? That feeling of being haunted, that's usually a yod, or it's some other very difficult aspect with either Pluto or Saturn, right? I appreciate you, Susie. Here, I'm gonna, well, if you are on YouTube, I can show you. I'm gonna actually pull up the chart to show you guys, but on Instagram, I'm not able to show you guys. So hop on YouTube here real quick, and I will show you what the yod looks like. So if you guys can see this, all right. This little green arrow right here, and the yod that's happening today, in fact, all right, there's a yod going from the moon in Scorpio to the north node, then from the north node to Jupiter and Pluto, and then the moon is sextile over Jupiter and Pluto. So what does that mean? That means that the place that we're trying to get to is our destiny, right? But we don't really know where our destiny is, or really what it is. We just feel this sort of ambiguous pulling into this direction, and we don't know where it's pulling us. So that requires faith and trust. And wherever we're not trusting and having faith, it's going to call that out. And it's incredibly uncomfortable because this is exposing control dynamics. And August is all about exposing control dynamics, right? The things that we want to have control of, the things that maybe our ego wants to make happen, but it's like, yep, reality is pulling you a different way, and it may not look like you want, but in the bigger picture, we have to sacrifice that immediate gratification, that immediate desire for the bigger purpose. Okay. So as we keep moving, we have to trust and have faith that to, stay in the present moment. Okay. Staying in the present moment will keep us from, dwelling on the past, or maybe asserting like the things that happened in the past, and looking into the future about what we want to project and make our future look like. But when we get into the present moment, there's so many uncertainties and there's so many unknowns that it's very, very, very difficult when we want to control it to stay in the present moment. Okay. All these feelings that are coming up, we may want and a control dynamic too is also looking at where we numb ourselves out. Okay. Where do you distract yourself? Where do you numb yourself out? Where do you go to a place where you sort of feel comfortable or even a little bit numb? It could be working. It could be sex. It could be, partying. It could be drugs. It could be validation. It could be working out, right? It could be anything. Anything that brings us out of balance or out of alignment, right? Oh, Danielle, I see you're on YouTube now, so I'll pull it up again just for you, okay? I'm gonna show you guys again because there are many of these coming up here pretty soon. So let's see, sextile here. That means like the planets are having sex, right? So they're happy, they're communicating very well. Then we have the quincunx, which is this green little guy right here. It's going in the north node. The green little guy is also going over here. Now we also have another quincunx over from Jupiter to Venus. So what does that mean? Okay, a quincunx from Jupiter to Venus. Jupiter is essentially conjunct to Pluto, and it's pretty much going to stay like that for them. It's been like that for most of 2020, and it'll stay like that for pretty much the rest of 2020. It'll be exact again right around election time, which is going to be interesting. So, but right now the energy is still like together. And in Capricorn, this is saying like, look, we need to look and dive deep into the structure of your life, the structure of your consciousness, right? So looking at that, quincunxing over to Venus, this is asking yourself, what do I really want in a relationship? How do I really want to make money? Am I really happy making money the way that I make money, right? Or is my relationship and the way that I make money, am I aligning my life in these ways the most efficiently, or am I lying to myself and kidding myself and doing something that I don't love or don't like to do, in lieu, like maybe you make a lot of money at your job, but you absolutely hate your job, right? Eventually that's going to create dis-ease in your body. Now is the time, as we shift to this higher vibrational place, we have to follow our heart. That is where the true overall abundance and wealth comes from. And, wealth isn't just financial wealth. Of course, we want financial wealth to be able to get ahead and to live, a nice life. But, comfort isn't really the name of the game right now. Okay. And August is going to really shake things up. Okay. As we come into August with all, I think I counted, there's about a week, the second, in the middle of the second week to the middle of the third week, there is literally a yod that's straight through. And then there's a couple times where there's 2 yods at once. Okay. It's a yod-tastic month. Okay. That was cheesy, but this, and each point that it's pointing out where the deep resistance is, it's going to call out, where are we not being completely true and honest with ourselves? Where is it that we are missing authenticity? And I think that all of us in some way, shape, or form, we all want to get ahead. We all want to make it happen, depending on if you have like a lot of fixed energy in your chart, if you have a lot of cardinal energy, like for example, me, I have a lot of cardinal energy in my chart, right? So I want to go. Like cardinal energy likes to make shit happen. Cardinal energy likes to like take on projects and like get them started and get them going. But then we get bored. We're like, okay, what's next? Right? It's like we get that initial like heightened like excitement when we start something new, and it lights us on fire, but that fire dims down and we almost get bored easy. Like, okay, now we have to get into the details and like all the like mundane daily shit, and we're like, ugh, I don't want to do that shit. Next. Right? So someone like me, I need someone that has like a more mutable or even fixed energy that will accommodate that cardinal energy. So I'm the one that gets shit started and going. Like I bring people in the door, and then I need to structure what's inside the door. Right now, I have a fixed moon, so a fixed sign is very stubborn. It's very strict. I don't want to say stubborn. It knows what it knows, but sometimes can be a little resistant to opening up their mind to learn something new or learn something different. But I'm very grateful that, I've always been very open. I mean, a moon in Aquarius is all about, being open to new ideas, new things, getting downloads, have a higher level of consciousness in a way, but then we have to learn how to interpret it. Like normally I can see the end, like I will get imprints in my mind and see like the end result of something, but then I try to jump right to the end and I don't do the middle of the work, which is more that mutable energy, because I don't have much mutable energy in my chart. So sometimes I can get lost in that process, and then the end result usually ends up happening anyways, but I beat the shit out of myself and I get dragged and pulled by the universe through a lot of tower moments in order to get there. So, my mission is to learn how to slow down and do these details, or, bring someone in my life to, help me out with that. You know what I mean? So whatever it is that's dominant in your chart, it's going to be really heightened and identified. And we're going to have to honor that, because if not, then we may just feel more and more lost. Okay. But really a much deeper purpose is really coming into our hearts. We just have to make sure that our hearts are open and ready to receive it. Okay. And as we receive it one step at a time, then we will grow and learn and really get ready for the Mars retrograde that's going to be happening in September. Now, the Mars retrograde, well, I'll just say I'm not really looking forward to that. But I will say one very important thing. If you don't take anything away from this, for Mars retrograde, do not start a new business between September and November. Okay? Bad idea. business, like, improve and, and work on the existing things that you have going on, but not a good idea to start a business during Mars retrograde. I mean, not for nothing, but right now there's not a whole lot of business building anyways, because everything is so in flux. But if you are trying to get a business going right now and you're in the middle of doing paperwork and whatnot, not a good idea. Right now is better to keep working, keep working on just, passion projects and things that you love. Now, July 29th, tomorrow, right? We're going to have a grand fire trine, which is pretty exciting. Whenever we have, and we're going to have a fire trine really moving throughout the month of August as well. So you can check out my August energy report when I upload that later on tonight. But this one tomorrow, okay? My pleasure, Robin. You're the bomb.com. I love you, babe. So the sun in Leo will be trine the moon, which is always beautiful. That means, like our emotions and our spirit are really in touch and really communicating well. It's going to be trine over to Chiron, Black Moon Lilith, and Mars. All right. So those being trine together, this is allowing those vulnerabilities to come up. This is like expanding our understanding of our traumas and looking at the toxic aspects of our divine masculinity. All right. For the next few months, actually for the rest of the year, the divine masculine toxic traits are going to be coming up to be purified, to be processed, to be worked through. All right. We need to clear this out because there is a lot, especially in this patriarchal society. It's coming out like crazy, and we have a lot of collective narcissism that we need to get rid of. Okay. Now, I personally feel that we're going to be shifting to a different type or a different structure of government, because clearly the way that it's working right now, well, it's not working. A lot of fundamental things need to shift, especially as much as the world has changed. Okay. We are changing with it. Now, I don't think that's going to be a matriarchy per se, but the divine feminine has come a long way, and women. But what happened is we've gone from one side of the pendulum to the other, right? We've gone from one side where it's been, like women like 50 years ago, all right, they just got their right to vote, and then like they're like stuck in the house being the support dynamic and cooking, cleaning, all that shit while the man goes out to work. That shit don't work anymore. That's not how it is. So now women have taken on the role of the man as well, going to work and parenting and, being the disciplinarian and being the, and being like the nurturer. And this has made the divine masculine in women become semi-toxic, because now they're like sort of jaded in a generational sense. They're like, all right, I don't need a man. Fuck that shit. And that is part of the dynamic in which this deep state is trying to make it so that it keeps families separated. Now, I'm not saying that it needs to be like a nuclear type family orientation. However, we need families to get along, okay? Because children, especially with all this stuff coming up about this human trafficking, this like these children and, in the system that are being sold for slavery and kidnapped and whatnot. It makes my heart so fucking sad to see all this shit, because as parents, we need to take responsibility for our own shit. Okay. Children need us. They're the most vulnerable beings in this freaking world. So the whole process of dismantling the home, pitting basically, men against women. Now, of course, it's just like they've given us the tools to do it to ourselves. And like, if you ever seen, that movie All Eyes on Me with Tupac Shakur, right? Tupac's story, his mom was always telling him, look, they're going to give you all the tools you need to destroy yourself. And that's basically the society we live in. And that's becoming evident on a collective level. They have given us all the tools that we need, and they know our instinctual behavior patterns. And because they know that, they know how to assimilate and assert how we're going to respond, right? So this means that we need to become increasingly more aware of what we're doing, so we can see what they're doing to our subconscious mind, to the programming, and step through that and prove them wrong. And the ones that are really doing the work, it's time to step up, and it's time to really like get out there Okay. Now, like through my journey, through really stepping into my power, creating this community and doing these, weekly and even daily energy reports, I've come to realize, man, no matter how long you're doing it, no matter what you're doing, it's always a challenge. Like for the last month or so, like I've been going through a lot of like deep transformative energies and purging out a lot of stuff. And sometimes my energy isn't there. And I notice that when my energy isn't there, my numbers drop, my numbers go down. It's kind of a roller coaster, right? And as much as I would like to, not like to admit that I don't get attached, it's sort of like, well, what am I doing wrong when my numbers are going down? But it has nothing to do with that. It's just the way that it goes. And everyone that I know that's successful, that has hundreds of thousands of people that follow them, like my good friend Victor Odo and Aaron Doughty, they say, hey, like that's part of the process. It's always going to be like that. Even when the numbers get higher, it's still going to dip and go up and down. You just got to keep being authentic with yourself and face that feeling within yourself, right? So everything that's happening in our reality, everything that's happening in our reality is happening to make us grow. Okay. Remember that. And the only way, not the only way, but a really great way to be able to continue to moving forward and moving through it when these feelings hit you is to reach out to people that are doing it. Reach out to people that have been there and done that, because they're going to know, because essentially at the very core, this is the same for everyone. It's just some people are aware of it, some people aren't. People that do this kind of spiritual work are going to be aware of it, so they can help inspire you and teach you. And that is exactly why in the opportunity community, when we speak, I see other people facing the same challenges and the same things that I've gone through, through my journey. And it is incredibly gratifying to me to help me show them and teach them, what they're going to be coming up against, how to anticipate it. And when you know what's coming, and it happens, it's just validation. Boom, you were right. Holy shit. Okay, that's just going to motivate me more. Going to get stronger. Going to make this shit happen, right? And when you get more motivated, when you're going through periods like that, when these tests come harder and harder, but it's like you got the inside scoop and you know what's going to happen. It's like, haha, all right, you ain't fucking with me, motherfucker. Instead of backing down and be like, oh shit, I suck, I'm not good enough, I can't do this, blah, blah, blah. Instead of letting that fear control you, you get an upper hand on that fear and make fear your bitch, honestly, right? Fear has nothing on you unless you give it power. It's all in our own mind, guys. And this is exactly why I feel astrology is so important, because when we work with astrology, we look into these aspects of our consciousness and it tells us what we need to know. It helps us see, okay, you're going to be experiencing this. This part's going to be uncomfortable. That part's going to be weird. This part's going to be fucking great. You're going to have to deal with these things and like work through them. Like, okay, bring it on. I know it's going to be tough, but I know I'm going to get through it because my soul is designed, is meant to push through this, to learn and to grow. We all have a divine purpose in this life. Okay. So Yod to Grand Trine, and the Grand Trine is just increasing that motivation. It's increasing that desire, that power. Now we want to make sure that the desire, it doesn't get too like overkill, or we don't desire too much. Because when you desire something too much, you can actually push it away. You can actually keep it far. Like if you really want to make $1 million and you're like, fuck, I'm pushing every day trying to make $1 million, well, like maybe set up some like smaller goals, or you just gotta believe. You gotta fully believe. So if you're telling yourself things that you really don't believe, then that's just going to bring you what you don't want. So then you have to look at, okay, well, I'm not getting what I want. So clearly I have to work on my belief system. Then you have to go back around and be like, okay, what belief system? Yeah. You have to go within and look at that. So just some tricks of the trade, so to speak, as we enter a very, very intense next 6 months really. But this next week, I am 7 minutes behind, and I am not looking forward to more negative narcissism or dark masculine. Well, whether we're looking forward to it or not, it doesn't really matter. It's gonna, like, whatever is in there. Now you don't know what's in there really and what's not, because a lot of the stuff is unconscious right now. Okay. And when it comes up, you just got to acknowledge it and admit to yourself, okay, this is healthy, this is unhealthy. All right. What are my, healthy desires? What are my unhealthy desires? And, like, it's all, see, when you come at it with the attitude like that, like, oh, I'm so done with this, I'm so over this, I don't want to feel this shit, just leave me alone. That's when you're feeding the darkness and that negative energy, and that's when you're going to invite more of the negative energy right now, because especially, this energy, it's manifesting immediately. Okay, so as this energy manifests immediately, you feel like all this bad shit happening, and then it's going to make it more difficult to climb out of that. So this is especially why community is so important, right? Because allowing yourself to be called out on your bullshit, so that when people call you out and you acknowledge it, it will literally release that. And you have people that support you, like, hey, good fucking work, I'm proud of you. Cry, get it out, vent, whatever you're going to do, and then move the fuck on, right? Just make it, you have to look at things from that other point of view. If you continue, oh, fuck, dude, I don't want to feel any of this. All right, how do you change your state? How do I can fucking make shit happen? What? Go for a run, go work out, go get this energy out. Get out of here, right? Change your state, make it happen. Okay, maybe this sucks, but you ain't got shit on me. I got this. And that is a belief system, right? Community is everything. So, right? Hell yeah, Melissa. That's what I'm talking about. So, July 30th. July 30th, we're going to be having Mercury starting to oppose Jupiter, Pluto, and Saturn. So there's a lot of energies that are going to be communicating this next week and this next month with Jupiter, Pluto, and Saturn. I was going to say Plattern, but so I guess that combines both of them together. You know what I mean? Fuck it. And we have Mars creeping up on its square, to be exact here, and Mars is going to be exactly conjunct to Black Moon Lilith. So what does that mean? A lot of this very impulsive sexual energy is going to be coming up too. Okay, Mars conjunct Black Moon Lilith is like saying, "Give me it now." Now, of course, if it's a mutual thing, or you're having fun, or it's a healthy way, that's good, right? But this could also be like more of that deep, dark, nasty, like, sex trafficking stuff coming out. All right. So there's a positive side of this and a negative side of this. And Black Moon Lilith can be used for good. A lot of times, though, it's very manipulative. Okay. It's very like, oh, fuck you, I'm going to get you back kind of attitude. Right. So we don't want to feed into that. We want to feed into like, let's play. Right. So be playful with it. All right. And Venus is getting closer to the North Node. So once I believe it's going to conjunct exactly on the August 5th. Okay, so we're going to be feeling that energy pretty strong on the full moon on August 3rd. That's coming up at the end of the week. And I'm going to get that into a minute here. But with Mercury being opposed to Jupiter, Pluto, and Saturn, basically this whole week is Jupiter, because Mercury is flying now, right? This is sort of crossing the energies of the last two solar eclipses or new moons, right? Hey, positive thoughts, positive thinking. Okay, now that now that you're aware of it, all right, you gotta bring this up to a higher vibration. All right, utilize it for good. Utilize it for good. All right, find someone that you can trust. Stop watching porn. Enjoy. Practice tantric sex, practice Kundalini yoga, do something like that, right? Something with that divine energy that brings it up and out that you can enjoy, have fun with, and explore a deeper, more spiritual meaning in a, like Mars is like that passionate, go get it, divine masculine, let's fucking make it happen, right? So with Mercury opposed to all this, we're going to be getting communication emotionally. This is going to increase our emotional intelligence or our emotional acuity, if you want to call it that, meaning that we're going to be communicating deeper with our emotions. All right. And understanding and seeing, okay, what is this whole thing with my structure? Like, where is my superpower? Where is it that I'm not looking at, what I want, what I love? All right. Pluto is digging deep. Okay. And Pluto and Mercury oppose each other. It's sort of like other people coming in and telling us shit that we don't want to hear, telling us shit that's going to be difficult, looking and feeling and communicating things that make us feel very vulnerable. Okay. That type of vulnerability, that just makes your whole body, makes your knees weak. Okay. And we don't like that, but you know, sometimes we just have to do that. Okay. So this could be like, you know, a partner saying something, or this could be like a court case, you know, and getting information back, or having to submit information that is incredibly uncomfortable and incredibly vulnerable, or, you know, like, you know, looking forward to doing something and then suddenly not being able to do it, or, you know, like a loved one, like getting sick, or, you know, look, the reality is, guys, is that, you know, a lot of people, if you're not spiritually attuned right now, then you're going down into a deep, dark place. I've had a lot of friends that have died, by a lot. I mean, 3 in the last month, but to me, that's a lot, right? But I know other people that have been seeing more and more people die, and or getting sick, or just going down a deep hole. If you're not doing the internal work, especially this next month with all this opportunity to do this work, it's going to get ugly. It's going to get rough. Okay. So, yeah, Nicole, I have a court case on the 7th, so I feel you. And that's not comfortable. Okay. And so I'm right there with you. I feel your pain. That's where we just, you know, it's for the kids. All right. When we love our children, we do whatever it takes, and that is what transforms us. Facing those feelings, like, it's either you go face it, or you miss your child, and you know, and then you know, you do them a disservice. All right, we have to do the work within ourselves for them. And really, right now, I mean, always, but especially right now, looking at the circumstances of the world, we're doing it for the children of the world right now. 800,000 children in the United States alone a year go missing. That is unacceptable, guys. Absolutely unacceptable. So we need to look at this and stand up and, you know, do our part in our own responsibility to save the children. We've got to do something, anything. And we cannot ignore this anymore. And the mainstream media ain't going to bring this shit up. So we have to make sure that we keep this going. All right. So the 31st, we have the sun that's going to be quincunx over to the moon. That's going to be like feeling weird, a little off, like, I don't know what to do here. I don't really feel good. We have now Mars is coming into its exact square with Jupiter, and actually Black Moon Lilith is going to be right there too, squaring with actually it's going to be right in between Jupiter and Pluto. So with that could be bringing up some more. I have a feeling like on a global scale, it's going to be bringing up more deep, weird sexual stuff. In fact, we see what Ghislaine Maxwell, or whatever her name is, Epstein's chick. I think she on the 30th. On the 30th, right? The same day that Lilith squares to Jupiter is when those documents that she files is going to be made public. So with this aspect, man, it's going to be that's going to be some greasy shit right there. So be prepared for that. That's going to be interesting. All right. Now let's see here. August 1st, baby, with starting at 10 degrees. So we're at the very end of the first decan of Leo, coming in the second decan, which I think is going to be nice. It's going to be trining over to Chiron. All right. So this is going to be, you know, like there's a lot of Chiron aspects coming up next month as well. And of course, go watch my August monthly video to check that out. Now we have Mercury at 24 degrees, just flying through Cancer, Venus at 25 degrees. And let's see here. The moon is going to be transiting through the third decan of Capricorn on this day. So whenever the moon is going over other planets, that activates the emotional response or emotional connection to that particular planet. And because Jupiter, Pluto, and Saturn are so close, all these energies are sort of combined in together. All right. So that is where I'd say the first is going to be a bit of a reality check. All right. So the reality check, just, you know, it is what it is. A whole lot of reality checking going on this year, you know, in itself. All right. So go with the flow. Feel it, face it, process it. This is all about the shadow work. All right. We have to do the shadow work, guys. And then of course we have on the 2nd, we have the moon now in Aquarius, and this is going to be a dark moon right before the full moon on the 3rd. And you know, we are moving into the age of Aquarius, right? So now having a full moon in Aquarius coming up this month, this is setting the stage again to go a level deeper into the mindset and the belief system of the age of Aquarius. Now, essentially, the age of Aquarius is ruled by Uranus, right? And this Uranus energy is a rebellious attitude that goes against the systems in place and structures that are in place right now. So all the people that are waking up, all this news coming out about all this really fucked up shit, exposing all this and getting rid of it, this is the energy of the age of Aquarius. It's a decentralized form of government. It's a healthy detachment from, you know, from all this marketing and advertising that humanity is so used to. It's advances in technology. It's learning new advanced ways of like health and wellness, and especially with all this, you know, stuff going on with 5G and with this whole, you know, vaccine debate. In fact, there's a vaccine debate coming up between, I believe, Dr. Shiva and Fauci. I'm so fucking excited to see that. Oh my God. So I will post something on my Instagram if I find out more details about that, but I highly recommend watching that. That's going to be a good debate if you're into that sort of thing, right? So now on the second, and not to mention too, here we go on the third. Okay, we have Mars at 19 degrees of Aries and Jupiter at 19 degrees Aries. So this full moon, the Mars Jupiter square is going to be exact. Okay, and we're going to have Mercury exactly opposed to Saturn. All right, this is going to be huge, and Venus is going to be just 2 degrees away from the North Node, guys. This is huge. Okay. Oh, tomorrow's the debate. All right, so check Dr. Shiva's Instagram. I believe that Melly B just said that that the debate information is on his Instagram. So go check that out and definitely watch it. That's going to be very exciting. So we have during this full moon, we have a lot of very powerful energies going on, a lot of purgative energies, a lot of reality checking energies. So coming into, you know, next Monday, it's going to get deep. And then once that hits, the next 2 weeks, it's yod after yod after yod after yod after, with a grand trine in there, okay, but multiple yods and massive transformative reality checking energy, okay? So move into it and feel into it. Once Venus crosses over the North Node, that is sort of like, you know, I know me, like I've been sort of feeling when I do my internal work, all my external goals sort of go like on hold a little bit, right? Like my energy stops bringing in stuff because my soul knows that, okay, you need, like, you're good, you're okay, so you need to work on this internal stuff. So if you're in the place sort of like I am, where you're like, fuck, no, I need to keep going, I need to make money, I need to go, the universe, like, chill, you set yourself up, you're okay, things are going to move forward when your soul's ready, but you got to take some time to do the inner work. So whenever we're doing soul work, right, I kind of look at it as like, okay, it's time to take a step back, like with physical exercise, for example. When you're doing maximal output on spiritual exercise, the physical exercise has to take a break. You become too exhausted. You're expending too much energy in the spiritual realm. Okay. And that's okay. You have to be okay with that. I know I have to be okay with that, because sometimes I'm like, fuck, I just want to, you know, I want to maintain what I, you know, like a certain feel in my body. I like feeling a certain way. Like I like pumped. I like my waist trim. I like just this feeling that I have, and I like to maintain it. And obviously I like to, you know, try to, you know, make it feel and look the best that it can. Right. But sometimes the body requires to take a step back from that. And that is a bit of an ego drive, I'll admit. Okay. And the soul needs to take over and be like, okay, it's time to shut down for a little bit. Don't worry. You'll get the physical back. Okay. In due time. But you have to take time out to rest and allow the central nervous system to relax so that all this energy can move through you. Because if you're constantly in contraction mode, and I even talk about this in my book, if you're constantly in contracting, which is what I like to do, you know, there's no expansion. It limits your body's ability to release, to grow, to expand. So we need to take that time, you know, allotted to expand, sometimes fully, okay? And then we can go back into the contraction and moving forward and making shit happen. But there's time and a place for everything. And the more you do this work, the more you'll see and know. And It won't let you go like too far in one direction, right? So let it, you know, the more we take care of our physical body through diet, nutrition, that's why I say get a Viome test and get on Euphoria. The Viome test will tell you what to consume and what to avoid consuming. All right. You want your inflammation response to be optimized. You want your gut health and all the microbes in your gut to be able to be functioning and digesting things properly. If you're at the point where you can't, where you're eating, but it's not going anywhere, it's not going through, that means that you have to slow down so you can let go of shit, literally and figuratively. Okay. And I've been there a few times, and I know a lot of people that have too. The digestive system is one of the most telling areas of where you're at emotionally. Okay. Because we hold on, that's the lower three chakras. The lower three chakras are all survival, you know, energies. They're survival archetypes. And I talk about all this in my book, so please feel free and you know, go download my book for free on spiritualbodybuilder.com and check that out, because you know it's really great information, and it's a good go-to when you're looking to see where you're at and what you're working through, and help you to understand where to go and how to get there. Okay, so please look for my August energy report that I will be uploading here on YouTube and on my Instagram story. I'll put it on there too. If you'd like a reading from me, please go to my website, spiritualbodybuilder.com, and check out the opportunity community. And you know, I have a ton of amazing content on my YouTube, biohacking stuff, fitness stuff like, you know, from 10 years ago when I was bodybuilding. Like I look back at that stuff like, man, wow, like it was a different person back then. But you know, I've noticed for me that, you know, I don't really feel like it in the present, in the moment that I'm doing it, because I'm always like, you know, trying to get to that next level. But whenever I put all my focus and mind on something, I am very, very good at what I do, because I get deep into the details. I get in the energy of it. I really, really dig deep for that stuff. Right. And you can too. All right. If you know, of course, everyone has their own way of doing that. And that's what your natal chart will tell you. All right. But we all have the potential. We all have the opportunity. It's all about getting with the right community, getting with the right people, being held accountable, being willing to take responsibility for all your shit. There's a very wide array and massive victim consciousness at the surface going on right now to be exposed. And a lot of people are, I mean, it's just right there. It's when we blame everybody else but ourselves for shit that's wrong in the world, basically, is what we're seeing at a very large and obvious level. Right. So instead of bitching about it, instead of, hey, it's your fault you did this, your fault you did that, you know, even our leaders, so-called leaders, right, are doing that as well. What can we do? Right? Follow your heart. Exactly, Robin. Right? This is all about shifting from mind to heart and following what your heart says and trusting it and having the courage and the faith to walk through it. You know, they say, I heard something recently about, you know, in order to really step into your power, you cannot hope it. You have to, you have to have faith in it. And the difference is hope is kind of necessarily coming from a place of fear, because you don't know it, you want it. It's that sense of knowing that is that faith, that just feeling of knowing something. That is when you know that you've made it to the place of faith that you need to be in order to be able to manifest. And right now, manifestation is having boom, boom, boom. And the universe is teaching us, it's giving us opportunities and tools to be able to establish that level of faith in our heart. In order to do that, we have to connect to our heart, right? And when we do, we open up our heart and we stand in faith, like knowing, like, okay, I know this feels right. And when it feels right and you've worked your fucking ass off to get to that place where it feels right, then nothing can stop you. It's like, nope, I know who I am. I know what I want. You can go fuck yourself. Have a nice day. Peace out. And that's kind of where we're at right now. All right. So follow your heart. And it's the process of going from having your mind in charge to having your heart in charge. All right. And allowing it to open up, where it requires a safe and vulnerable place to allow yourself to express that. Right. Express these things that you feel very unsafe saying to other people that might be in the same toxic place that you are. That is the environment that I have created through the opportunity community. And that is why we are being so successful in helping so many people and growing and learning and expanding and becoming like the true amazing versions of themselves that they want to be, right? It makes us unfuckwithable. Exactly right. So take all the fear and chuck it in the fuck it bucket. Let that freak flag fly and let's go, baby. Let's make it happen. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I appreciate it. If you resonated with this, please like, share, and subscribe. Follow. You know I appreciate it. And I'll see you guys in the next report. All right? Have a great day, guys. Peace out.